Welcome to Sunday, and this is video day for me, and as you can see, I've got a little guest with me, gray and white mama sitting over here cleaning. Nope, get on the keyboards. You can't sit on the keyboard. Mama don't know anything about laptops or computers, so I gotta keep an eye on her, right? She's been pretty feisty. She came to us a couple of years ago. Her mouth was frozen solid outside. We got her inside. She's missing a bunch of teeth on one side. She's got a couple other issues, and occasionally I can feel some structure issues. I think she got hit by a car or something at some point, and lived through it. But there's something going on right in here on her one side, and then she's very sensitive in a couple spots back here. This is what she's doing right now. What are you doing? You can't stick your... No. I'm trying to talk here. Yes. No. Right. Okay, never mind. Anyway. You're not... Yes, you're not a microphone. Yes. Well, no, don't go up on the keyboard. This is... Yes. Okay, so we are looking at Without Question by Brian Young. And first off, no offense there, Mr. Young, and I truly, truly appreciate how much work and effort went into writing all that. No question about it. One, your editor staff, they need to, they need to be, I don't know, a little more cautious. I've caught 2, maybe 3, but 2 for sure, typos in the mix, right? And second there, Mr. Young, and I'm sure you would know better than anybody, it feels rushed. There's some portions of this in this novel that feel disjointed, and also feel, compared to the effort and work and that went into the characters of the rest of the story, a couple of these others are so two-dimensional. It's disgusting. It's actually off-putting. It's lazy in a lot of ways, and I know that from personal experience. I know how being easy it is to become lazy at things. My issue here is, in this case, knew you could have done better, and I suspect you were pressed for time. Because that's another thing I'd like to point out about this particular book, is that this is actually 2 short stories, or 2 novettes in one. Because it makes a beginning, a middle, and an end for section 1, and that's the initial dealing with the Hell's Horses and things like this. And then the second half, where they go off-world to expand into some stuff, and the bad guys arrive. The bad guys are so two-dimensional, so blah, and the way they were kind of rushed to their obvious conclusion, not to mention the kind of weird chicanery that our good Khan agreed to engage in during his attempted assassination because he wanted to make it look believable. No. Sorry, man. Sorry. No. Other than that, I mean, the continuing development of a couple of the characters like Dawn and the young lady who was a ghost bear foundling, and then now trying her hardest to be the best Jade Falcon she can. Those are really depth characters, and so in truth is Chistu. Is it Jiyi, however he's the Khan's pronounces these names just beyond my ability to pronounce to save my soul. Anyway, the development's there. The stories are pretty solid, but then we get some really questionable crap. Now, I will quote that the section where the brief introduction of the Tomcats. Now, that's a lot of material that was put down, and that's not. It's well written for the short amount of time that the Tomcats are involved. We know enough about them to know that they're human beings, and that they have their own problems, their own concerns. They're also luckily not trapped into a god awful contract. Part of their contract stipulates even if they go up against and stand toe to toe with the clans and lose, they still get paid. And so the Tomcat leader realized that they were in over the heads, but also realized there was a way to get out of this. And was luckily the Jade Falcons were willing to play the game, and that manner. And then so we get to the what's left of Hazen's blood-minded, frickin' horde-minded Jade Falcons, with all their black armbands and black body armor, or whatever the hell they were wearing. Seriously, man, those characters were so terribly flawed in such a narrow 2D form. There just was no depth to them whatsoever. They suck. They suck bad, and I hate to say that, because I saw a lot of potential there. There was a lot of potential that those kind of characters could have been, if they were allowed to bloom and to speak. The characters need time to be developed and to bring the reader into their view of things. So, and I'm not going to bother looking down through there looking for that lady's name, because she wasn't, as a character, she's not worth even bothering. And why even throw her in the book? It was just kind of a knee-jarring jerk and a wasted. I don't know. It's just like the very ending, like I said, when the Khans, the whole assassination attempt against him was so bullshit. It's just bullshit. No offense, these are clanners. They should have fought the damn thing out. That they're going to resort to that kind of level of tactics? No. That's just, that makes no sense whatsoever. Even with their diehard Mongol philosophy, they're still clan at the core. That's the connection ground. That's the sinew, and you got to have those sinews otherwise there's no clan at all. Good, bad, and ugly. So in this case, the missed opportunities is what probably cheeses me off more than the bad character writing. In this case, these were good characters, potentially good bad guys, or good misunderstood good guys. Bad guys who had to be won over by the good guys to redeem themselves in some ways, and to show that even the worst elements of the former Jade Falcon's philosophy can be countered and overcome, in my opinion. Just my opinion. So that said, it's a really good read. I'm not saying I wouldn't recommend reading it. I'm just saying I'm terribly disappointed with it, and I suspect Mr. Young's disappointed with some of it too. And that latter half of this second book that's in here, I'm just telling you right off the bat, man. There was so many opportunities that you could have had a follow-up novel where we've seen even more of the plot against the Khan by the Hazen traditionalists, or the Hazen's fanatics, while we've seen the good elements within the new Jade Falcons work their charm and their abrasive personality efforts against these hardcore Hazen fanatics, and see them change. You could have had these Hazen fanatics redeemed, or you could have them such a nefarious plot develop that they had to be put down. But we would all understand why they were motivated they were, other than just some basic rote that we just supposed to wink and nod at. And sometimes the old wink and elbow stuff ain't gonna fly, my friend. Next time, man, I scored 4 out of 10 for entertainment purposes, and 5 out of 10 for game story purposes. But it really come up